I've been feeling blue, my money is too. Shawty act gold, till she seen it too. I've been feeling blue.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to What's the Dealio? Today we have a great episode. I'm here with my partner in SBX, Mike Steinberg. What's up, Mike?
What's up, everyone? Today is such a fantastic episode because I have a long-time family friend, Steve Pollack, in the building. The energy is unbelievable. He's an absolute beast. Everyone, please meet Steve Pollack. Thanks for coming.
AKA Stevie P.
AKA Stevie
Let's
P.
go.
Mike, Jay, thanks for having me, man. I'm excited. Let's do this.
Let's do this. So, how long you been doing, so could you give a little background about yourself on what you do and who you are?
Okay. Professional or No, I'm only kidding.
Both.
So, I've been in the merchant service business since 2009, and I worked for a friend of mine, and he sold his company in 2016, and then I went to work for EPSG, which is right here locally. Their parent company was one of the biggest companies in the world in merchant services, and I was involved with a gentleman named Brett Sturm and Rich Ross, who owned EPSG. And my industry, guys, it is not the most scrupulous industry in the world. Let's just call a spade a spade. There are a lot of not credible people in my
Unsavory.
industry. Unsavory. Jay, that's being very kind. I always tell people, if you find someone in merchant services that you could trust, you better hold on to that son of a gun for dear life. Because in my industry, people will tell you whatever you want to hear just to get your business, and 99% of it is a bunch of BS. It's not it. So I've been working with EPSG, and one of the things I love, the founders of the company, I always say any relationship is built on trust. I have to trust you. You have to trust me. And they've done everything they say they're going to do. Like in my industry, it's very popular. Merchants have their rates raised by the processor. I'm called the processor. And to be honest with you, Jay, sometimes, Mike, you got to have a Harvard math degree to figure out what the hell you're paying on a merchant statement. Some people get their merchant statement and they look at it and they're like, what the hell is this? It's like hieroglyphics.
So are they paying it regardless because they don't understand it?
Yeah, they're paying a higher rate, and there are a lot of hidden fees, which we'll get into later. So I believe one of the most important things is to educate the merchant. Because if you educate the merchant, then the merchant knows what to look for. So basically, to cut through the whole chase, I'm in a lot of different verticals. I'm in the dental world. I'm very big in senior assisted living. I'm big in private jets. I'm big in wholesale jewelry. I control just about every retail camera store in the United States. And I started all these verticals by getting one or two people. And then I said, do you guys have a national convention? They let me speak at the national convention. And what I tell every merchant of mine is all you have to do is take your fees, divide them into your sales, and that's what's called your all-in rate. People look at me like I got 10 heads, Jay, and they go, well, how come no one else ever told me that before? I go, it's real simple. Because if they educate you, they can't screw you. So nobody wants to give you the secret sauce. They don't want to give you the secret sauce.
Right.
They just want to keep screwing you.
They can keep you in the dark.
And so in our industry, if you're a retailer, what I call it, in anything where you're a card-present environment, you should never be paying more than 2.8%. If you're in a card-not-present environment, whether it's e-commerce or whatever it is, you should never be paying more than 3.2%. That doesn't mean you'll be paying 3.2 or 2.8. That just means you could be less than, my retailers, a lot of them are less than 2.8. But if someone's in an office building in New York City, I'll say to that person, let's say it's you, Jay, I'll say, how did you get to your credit card processor? And they look at you like you got 10 heads, like a deer in the headlights, and they go, I don't know. I think when I opened up my business, I went to Bank America, they gave me a merchant processor. And if they're with their company for 8, 9, 10 years, I can promise you one thing, which is a horrible, horrible editorial in my industry. You are getting screwed.
So this is very interesting because in my industry, I'm dealing with a ton of retailers. And I guarantee if I ask them who they're working with, half of them wouldn't even know because it's not something that's top of mind. They just went with somebody that they were introduced to.
100%.
Is it safe to say that if I connected you to somebody, you could potentially save them money? Is that?
I would definitely be able to save them money. And if I couldn't, Here's what I say. When I speak to somebody, and I have over 290 referral partners throughout the United States that refer me business, half of those 290 are my merchants because they know they could trust me. So before someone like yourself is going to give me your business relationships or your sister, your dad, your mom, your neighbor, your friends, you have to know, Jay, Mike, you have to know that you can inherently trust me. Inherently. Because if you give me one of your friends who owns a business, just give me his first name.
Dave.
Dave owns
Orange Theory Fitness.
There you go. Orange Theory Fitness. And you put me in touch with Dave.
Yeah.
And I don't do the right thing by Dave.
Yeah.
Before Dave calls me up, he's going to call you up and say, yo, Jay, why did you give me that asshole Stevie P? And then guess what, bro? You are never, ever going to give me another lead for the rest of your life.
Correct.
In my business, you don't get a second chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Reputation.
That's like my business too. We don't get a second chance. Reputation's everything.
Everything. But there are so many people because my business, it's a pennies business.
Right.
But guess what, bro?
It's volume.
It's volume. And the pennies become very, very big pennies.
So is there an average that you would say you could save the? Is there a spread that
Yes.
you think? Yeah. What's the
So
average that you think you could save?
So it doesn't matter. I run the gamut with merchants. I have merchants that have a deli. They're making, I used to say $7 sandwiches, but now it's $12 sandwiches. They're making $12 sandwiches. They're doing $2,400 a month in credit cards. I go, bro, do you know how many sandwiches you got to make at $12 a pop to do $2,400 a month? You got to be working that slicer. You got to be killing it, bro.
That's right.
So, but then I got small merchants. I got e-commerce merchants that do $10, $12 million a month. But here's what I say. I will tell any merchant, I guarantee them, I could save them at least, I like to underpromise and overdeliver. Most people in my industry like to do just the opposite.
Sure.
They overpromise and underdeliver. If I know I could save someone $600 a month, I'm telling them I could save them $350 a month. Because it's amazing in my industry. These people are getting killed. You tell them you're going to save $500 a month. You save them $495 and your phone is ringing. They can't call you quick enough saying, Stevie P, I thought you told me you were going to save $500 a month. I go, how much did we save you this month? You only saved me $494. I go, you out of your mind? Are you out of your absolute frigging mind? You got to be kidding me. So now I learned, because I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, I learned a long time ago that if I could save someone $600, I'm telling them $400 just like that.
And you're a hero.
And 90, all kidding aside, 999 times out of 1,000, I can save them whatever I want. And the reason is because since I'm a partner with EPSG, this is the key. I have the flexibility and freedom to do whatever I want. I can work on as small a margin as I want. If you run a $2 million business and you were at some ridiculously low rate, like 10 basis points, that would exclude 90% of the people in the credit card processing business from even attempting to write you up. I could write you up at 4 basis points, 3 basis. So people always say, when they get their merch statement, it says 3 basis points or 4 basis points. People go, what is that, 30% or 40%? They have no clue what a basis point is. So I always tell people 33 basis points is 1/3 of 1%. 50 basis points is 1/2 of 1%. 10 basis points is 1/10 of 1%. I go, that's the deal. I go, so we work on pennies. But you might own a deli, but guess what? Your brother or your next door neighbor, they might own the biggest e-commerce shopping cart business or furniture company or whatever business it is, or they might be Riverhead Lumber. So you never know who. I treat a merchant the same whether they do 2,000, 10,000, 2 million, or 25 million a month in credit cards, because I've kind of revolutionized this industry with these 290 referral partners. That's why my business is booming, where half of those people really got hurt during COVID.
Sure.
So I'm very big in hospitality and weddings. The wedding industry got annihilated, crippled.
Yeah.
If you thought the Mr. T starter kit was a funny line, I go like this. I'm going to tell you, people in the wedding industry, Jay's looking at me like I'm absolutely crazy.
No, not at all. I think I just met my new best friend.
Watch this. I go, if you're in the wedding industry, florist, photographer, jeweler, caterer, band, limousine, tuxedo, gown, or honeymoon. You want me to say that again? If you're a florist, photographer, jeweler, caterer, limousine, tuxedo, gown, or honeymoon, you got absolutely killed during COVID. Okay? So most of those...
you know pedestals and flowers by Brian.
I know Brian.
Well, you know, of course.
I play poker with Brian.
Uh-oh. Should we get into that?
No, we shouldn't. That's for a different podcast.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
So, but all kidding aside, those people, a lot of them really got hurt during COVID. A lot of them, unfortunately, I saw it in my portfolio, they lost their businesses. So I had relationships with a lot of these vendors. They came to me and they said, Stevie P, we like you. I don't know why people would like me, but they like me. They trust me. I have a little bit of energy. They go, I have my phone book. I have my cell phone right here. And they go, Stevie, if I give you my relationships in my phone, can I earn money? I said, shit, bro, yeah, let's go. So now what happened is I revolutionized this industry where I'm paying people just for making introductions. I don't want them knowing my business.
Sure. And they don't want to.
And they don't want to know my business, but I am monetizing their relationships.
Sure.
To the fact where I got some people that make $52 a month, $800 a month. My number one referral partner is making $5,000 a month after 3 or 4
Well, I'm
years.
going to be your number one.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that...
And hopefully you'll be my number one a lot more quicker than 2 or 3 years.
That's right.
But when people say to me, I love when people say to me, especially since COVID, oh, well, you don't have to pay me. Like I deal with a lot of accountants and lawyers. I go, trust me, I have to pay you. And they go, well, it's a conflict of interest. I said, cut the bullshit. It's not a conflict of interest. I said, your bank account is never a conflict of interest. I said, because first of all, if you start making $200, $442,
Yeah.
and then $1,000, and then you're up to $1,900, I could be paying for your kid's college education. I could be paying for your European vacation. I could be paying for Mike's fleet of cars or Jay, your fleet of cars. I could be doing whatever it is, but it's a pennies business. It starts small. And then my referral partners, they'll never admit it to me, but they'll say, holy shit, I really didn't do much. All I did is say Stevie P, connected me with Jay, called Jay, and then I do everything.
Yep.
What's everything? I call them. Hopefully I make them laugh, have a little high
That's a
energy.
guarantee.
That's
a guarantee also.
I get their merchant statements. I do a free analysis. I underpromise. I overdeliver. And then more importantly, I service them. That's the most important thing, because the thing I hear more from all of my merchants, some people, when I get referred to them, they go, Stevie P, you don't even got to beat my rate. Just match my rate. What they're really telling me is they hate who they're with. And the reason why, Mike, they hate who they're with, they all say the same thing. It's comical. They go, you know, I don't understand you people. I go, what do you mean you people? I'm not part of you people. I'm Stevie P. I'm EPSG. Yeah, that's it. We're not you people. They go, well, when the guy or girl solicited me, they called me every day, 9 times a day. They did a full court press on me until they can get... Now, Mike's a basketball player. He can understand a full 1-3-1 zone trap. Okay. So they would say that when the person wanted my business, they called me every single day. Now I'm with them. I call them. I can never get anybody. They disappear. And chances are maybe the reason why they disappeared is because they're not in the industry anymore.
Right.
And that's
got a lot of fly-by-night people coming through.
You know what it is? It's not even necessary. It is some of that, but it's because the business in the beginning, you're making such small margins. It's very difficult to get over the hump and to sustain so that this could be a business, so that when people who are, and I don't mean it derogatorily, I call, most people, if they work with Bank of America, Chase Manhattan Bank, TD Bank, those banks are telling those reps, they don't respect those people's times. They're telling them go walk the street. They got to go walk the street, and they got to come back with 40 business cards of people that they solicited. And it is just crazy. So because these people are just walking the street, they have a tendency to tell the merchant whatever the merchant wants to hear just to get their business.
Right.
And that's why when I go to a lot of people, I went to this referral model, because when I call them, I only work through referral. I get a lot of resistance, and people always will start the conversation, which is a horrible way to start the conversation. Oh, Stevie P, I had a horrible experience. Stevie P, I have no customer service. I'm on hold for 27 minutes. I get someone in some foreign country. They can't even, they don't speak English. They go, it's amazing. So it's a very negative connotation that you have to overcome. But I believe, like I said in the beginning, it's all about building trust. But I'm not going to build your trust in a 25-minute podcast. I'm going to build your trust by doing what I say I'm going to do over months and years. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And Stevie P, I want to just ask something, because everything is going up in price. You know, gas is going up $50 a gallon. Sandwiches, what are $15?
Right.
Things are going up. So it's harder for the business owner, on a serious note, to make money. So what kind of products do you offer to business owners that will help them save as much money as possible?
Great question, Mike. So here, since COVID, okay, our business, our industry, forget our business, our industry has changed dramatically. So I have a lot of people who work with me, and pre-COVID, in the credit card industry, they call it cash discount or a convenience fee. That's where the merchant pushes the fee to the customer, okay? All my guys and girls would say to me, Stevie P, we're doing this discount for cash. And I said, that's the biggest bunch of bullshit that you're ever going to hear. And they go, Stevie P, you know what you're talking about. I go, what do you mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. I go, the customer's going to push back. The business owner's going to lose business. Then COVID came. And boy, was I wrong.
Wow.
I'm telling you now, very simply, Mike, inflation, higher labor, higher cost of product, higher gas prices, higher shipping. I hear my merchants every day, and I run the gamut of all different verticals that I'm in. People are saying, Stevie P, I work twice as hard to make the same amount of money.
Or less.
Or less. And so now I have some friends of mine who are against charging a fee to the customer, but they have to do it. And here's why they have to do it. First of all, the consumer is conditioned. So the consumer is seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
And it works. And when I say it works for everybody. Because let's say you own, Mike, let's just say you're a wholesale plumber. And I'm a plumber in Dix Hills. And I'm dealing in a very affluent area. And let's say I buy $300,000 worth of products from you every year. Now, the way it used to be, my dad knew your dad. Now, your dad's not in the business. My dad's not in this business. And now I'm dealing with you. And I'm paying you by check or cash. $300,000 cash is a lot of cash.
A lot of green.
A lot of green, right? So now all of a sudden, people say, so let's say I'll say, Mike, I need you to take my credit card. And you say, Stevie P, I'm not taking your credit card. Say that to me, Stevie P.
Stevie P, I'm not going to take your credit card.
And I go, why not? And you say, well, I get check or cash. I'm not paying a fee like 2.5% or 3% or maybe 4%. I do $4 million a year. I do $4 million a year. I'm not paying $160,000 to take credit cards. Wait, you out of your mind? So now, let's say Jay and I work together, and you're the wholesaler, and we're just the retail guys in Dix Hills, and we do plumbing all over the place, and we have a nice business, but you're our wholesale guy, so we're buying from you. And Jay says to me, Stevie P, how'd you make out with Mike Steinberg with him taking credit cards? I go, Jay, the guy killed me, bro. Shot me down in a second. Goes, he ain't taking. He's not going to go open up a merchant account. And Jay's smarter than me, and Jay says, Stevie, just go back to him, beat you, and say, listen, Mike, if you don't take credit cards, I'm going to have to find another wholesaler to buy my product from. So now I would go back to Mike 3 weeks later. I go, Mike, can you open up a merchant account? And now he rips me apart. He goes, now Mike would never rip me apart, but I'm just role playing here. And Mike, the guy who owns the plumbing supply, the wholesaler, will say, Stevie, I told you a month ago. It's not even on the table. Like I am a total knucklehead. Forget it. Drop it. And then I hit him with the bomb. And I go, it's like the bug hitting the windshield. And I go like this. Very sincerely, I go, Mike, I know your business. Your dad did business with my dad. I'm doing business with you for 15 years. I got to have you take my credit card. And he doesn't know what's about to happen. And he says, Stevie, I told you, how many times I got to tell you, we're not taking credit cards? And I go, Mike, I don't know how to say this, but it's up to you. But if you don't take my credit card, I got to take my business somewhere else. Someone who takes credit cards. Because you know what? I'm spending $300,000 a year with you, and I'm getting no benefit. Zero. When I take my family to Europe, like I'm going to Croatia on Wednesday, I want to be sitting first class.
Right.
I want to get something for that $300,000 that I'm spending. And then he looks at me, and most times, a lot of people in the wholesale world who never took credit cards till COVID are now taking credit cards. But now to tie it all together, what's happening, that person who never took credit cards as form of payment, because they're saying to me, well, now we're going to push the fee to the customer. So now Mike comes back to me and says, Stevie, okay, I'll take your credit card, but you're going to pay the fee. And now I'm the guy who's flipping out. And I go, oh man, I can't, Mike, what are you doing, bro? I got to pay your fee? And you go, Stevie, I can't pay for your first class airline seats. I don't mean to be a jerk, but I can't afford to pay when you go to Croatia. I can't pay for you to sit in first class, bro. You got to pay for you to sit in first class. And then Mike says to me, puts it all on me because Mike's sharper than me. Mike says, well, Stevie, you don't have to pay me by credit card. You can pay by check, cash, ACH, and then the customer, me, I'll bitch. But at the end of the day, 99 times out of 100, Jay, I'm taking out my credit card.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I want the benefit of what that credit card is giving me, and that's why our industry is blowing up. And one other thing before we get to the next point. The reason why the credit card industry is blowing up, which you guys both, everybody knows, you have it in your own wallet. A year and a half ago now, all the card brands, MasterCard, Visa, Discover, and Amex, besides getting all the points, now they're giving you back 1.5% to 4% cash back. Some credit cards, Chase Sapphire, who gives you 5% back on your meals, they're giving you 5 times the points. So now people are using their credit cards more than ever. It is crazy. With COVID, people don't have cash. People don't want to handle cash. They want the points. They want all the perks with their credit card. It's just, and these millennials, don't get me started with these millennials. They're buying a cup of coffee on a credit card. They don't even have cash.
I don't think it's just the millennials. I'm programmed at this point. Everything's on credit card. Everything. I mean, I'm also not in a cash business, right? And then there's not as many cash businesses today.
Do you know how many people I hear? I love, like I have 2,000 merchants in my own portfolio, and I do $2 billion a year in processing. Now, I'm not saying that to brag or boast because I don't make anywhere near what you think I make. Because like I said earlier, that's not 2 million, that's 2 billion. That's 170 million a month I'm doing in credit cards.
That explains the watch.
That's why I got the Mr. T starter kit right here. I'm the charter member of the We Look Good, Have No Money. I got the Folex watch. I got the Super Bowl ring. I got it all working. But all kidding aside, but all kidding aside, it's just amazing that with this business, just nobody has cash. There's nobody who works on a smaller margin. So it's all about, again, I bring it back to the same thing.
You control a lot of industries.
I control a lot of industries, but it's all about just earning that merchant's trust. That is the overall common factor.
Listen, that's sales 101, right? Like if it generally you need to be liked and trusted, right? Like people like doing business with people that they know, that they like, and that they trust. So even if the fees are the same, I need more Stevie P in my life. I'm going with you.
Well, my two vices, and they're not vices. My two vices are I play poker and I play golf. I play a lot of poker. I play a lot of golf.
I don't, so we're not hanging out there, okay. But
we'll hang out other places.
100%.
So, I always say you learn more about a person on a poker table on a golf course. I know within 20 minutes if a guy's throwing his club, if a guy gets really pissed off.
That's why I don't play.
Right. And now, when I play poker, it's funny. I play a lot of poker, and people say, people are when they're winning, they're one way, and when they're losing, they're another way. My joke is always the winners are telling jokes, and the losers say deal. But sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. Nobody wins all the time at anything. But thank God I'm at a point in my life where I can do business with people that I like.
Yeah.
I can control who I do business with, and I'm excited about doing business with you guys. I mean, I know you guys have so much to offer, and there are so many people that they have no idea. They don't know. They're just too busy running their own business every day. And I always say, it's like when you get a checkup. You could be well, and that's why, people go for a colonoscopy every 5 years. Yeah, you have to see something. It could have been good, because what people do in my industry, which is a horrible thing too, they start you off at a really good rate, and then they slowly raise you.
And hope you don't notice.
You're not going to notice.
Because you're not.
Because most people, when they get their merchant statement,
Right.
all they do, Jay, the bookkeeper or the controller or the accountant, they just reconcile to make sure they got the money. It's like hieroglyph. You look at a merchant statement.
Yeah.
You got to have a Harvard math degree times 20.
It's also not. It's also not their money. The person who's reconciling or doing that,
They
it's
don't
not
have
their
a-
money.
they don't have a
So they're
vested
looking,
interest.
check, next, right? So as the business owner, that's a problem for you.
And when you educate the merchant, they think a lot of people say, "Oh, Stevie P, I'm in a good place," and I look at him and I go, "Jay, how the hell would you know if you're in a good place?
They just think they are.
You have no idea." I get it. You want to, when people, this comes off the wrong way, but it's so people own their own businesses. They're used to being in control,
That's right.
but they're in control about what they do. I couldn't tell you about being a business broker because I don't know the first thing about it. You shouldn't tell me about merchant services.
That's right.
If you're good, I'll tell you that you're good because so people say, well, how do I know you're good? So ask me, say, Stevie P, how do I know you're going to tell me the truth?
Stevie P, how do I know you're going to tell me the truth?
Real simple, bro. Because I got referred to you through Mike Steinberg. And if I don't do everything I say I'm going to do times 10 and I mess you up or I'm not credible or I don't follow through, the first person you're calling is Mike Steinberg and saying, Mike, why did you give me that jerk Stevie P? And Mike Steinberg is too important to Stevie P. He is way too important for me to jeopardize my relationship with Mike. So that's your insurance policy that you know that I'm going to do the right thing for you.
Yep.
And like I said, you're not building someone's trust in a podcast. You're not building people are going to watch this and they're going to say, that guy is a lunatic, or that guy's very high energy, or that guy's pretty chill, or that guy's pretty cool, or whatever they're going to say. All I want is the opportunity to earn their business. And if they're in a good place, I will tell them, stay where you're at. And you never know. There might come a point in time, because people in my industry, they do raise their rates. They'll let me call them, or they'll call me in 2 years, and they go, Stevie P, I think a couple of things changed. Can you look at my merchant statements? You don't have to. I'm not a dog in heat. I don't have to close them on the first sale. I want their business.
Yeah, it's relationship.
It's all relationships.
That's it.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to take a look at their merchant services, you call Stevie P. So he'll take care of it.
Hopefully.
Definitely.
It's gonna happen.
Definitely.
Stevie P, we're gonna do a lot of business together.
I love it,
I'm
bro.
excited.
I hope you are.
I'm pumped. It's all residual income.
I mean,
This is the best way to make money. You leverage your contacts, refer them to Stevie P. He gives you a residual. You make money when you sleep.
so let's talk about that, because so many people like myself who owns a business are so transactional and so focused on my business. I have an endless supply of an amazing network of people and retailers and business people. How does that referral happen, and how does it work, and what is customary on that referral fee essentially?
Okay, so let me tell you how I work. Let me just tell you, before we get to that, one of the points I forgot.
I think I know what you're going to say, but
I do 3 things that no one else in this country does for a merchant, that I put in writing. Okay, watch this, Jay. This is pretty impressive. The first thing I do is I don't put anybody in a contract. In my industry, it is standard to be in a contract in the small T's and C's for 2 to 3 years. Watch this.
that's a long time.
That's a long time. You're my merchant. You don't deal with Stevie P. You deal with someone from XYZ company. The girl comes in, the guy comes in, they promise you the moon, they promise you A, B, and C. Now you get your merchant statement and your rate is X, Y, and Z instead of A, B, and C. So you need Stevie P. You got that? So watch this. So they promise you A, B, and C. You're at X, Y, and Z. Now you call the company up and you say, that guy or girl promised me my rate was going to be 2.6%, 2.8%, and I'm at 4%. This is what blows my mind about this industry. That's why I'm so passionate about what I do. That, when that person calls that company, most of the companies, instead of being empathetic to that merchant, they will say, they won't even listen to them. They go, the first thing that comes out of their mouth will be, well, you're in a contract for 28 more months. And you're like, are you, what?
That's like criminal.
All right, are you, it's like they're admitting they're screwing you.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit that they're screwing you. And then they're like, well, you're in a contract. Wait, did you listen to a word that I just said to you? Your rep promised me I was going to be at A, B, and C. I'm at X, Y, and Z. And your answer to me is I'm in a contract for 28 months? You have to be kidding me. So the first thing I do is I don't put anybody in a contract. Wow. That alone is game, set, match. Because if you ever find out that I screwed you or didn't follow through on, didn't do what I said I was going to do, you're free to go. You don't have to call me. There's nobody else in America going to put that in writing. I put it in writing. 2, I guarantee your rate. And they look at you like a deer in the headlight, and they go, "You guarantee my rate? What does that mean?" I say, "I'll guarantee you, if you're a retailer, you're in a swipe industry, I will guarantee you, no questions asked, you'll never be above 2.8%. That doesn't mean you'll be at 2.8%. I'm just giving you upside protection against the hidden and bogus fees. I go, if you're in a card not present environment, I'll guarantee you'll never be above 3.2%. They go, well, how can you do that? I go, real simple. I'm not going to screw you with hidden and bogus fees. So 1 is no contract. 2, I'm guaranteeing their rate. And here's the worst thing that people in my industry do. They start you at a slow introductory rate. So this is what people do in my industry. They review a merchant statement. Oh, the merchant's at 60 basis points. I'll put you at 55. Then the next person puts you at 50. Then the next person they all undercut each other. But then they screw you with 60 to 90 to 120 basis points of hidden fees that you don't realize that are hidden fees. That's why I say, all you have to do, the secret sauce, if we get anything out of this podcast, the most important thing I could educate someone on, take your fees, divide them into your sales, and that's what's called your effective rate, unless you're with Bank of America. They're the worst in the world. I don't mind saying it because they don't do it that way. When you get your May statement, the fees are from the month before. So it's almost impossible to figure out what you're paying. Unless
Is that done on purpose?
That's done on purpose.
Wow.
So you can't even figure out what the hell you're paying. So I'll do that for you. So the 3 things I do: no contract, I guarantee their rate, and I guarantee them for the life of their account, the life of the term with Stevie P, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, I'm never going to raise their rate. Now, let's talk about the referral partner aspect of this business. So now, you're a merchant of mine. We have a relationship. We hang out. We socialize. We don't hang out. We don't socialize. But you say, this guy's pretty cool. He does everything he says he's going to do. I got some people I could turn them on to. And it'll add stickiness to your relationship with that person. Because if you give them to me, you know inherently that I'm going to do the right thing, because I'm never going to jeopardize my relationship with you or you, ever. I'd have to be a knucklehead to ever do that. So now you give me that relationship, when all you're doing, you could either do it through email, a group introduction through email, or say, Stevie P, call so-and-so, and just say you're friends with Jay or friends with Mike. I call them, I do everything, and I will pay, usually I pay 10% with you guys. I might do a little more because of the nature and the strength of your relationships, where I will pay you 15% of the profit on every account for the rest of your life. But I want you guys to understand something, because I don't want anybody who's going to view this podcast, it really is a penny's business in the beginning.
Yeah.
If I give you 10% or maybe 15% of the profit on every account, when you're dealing in so here's the double-edged sword of my business. I can make the rate whatever I want. But the lower I make the rate, the less I make.
But you get the account. But you get the account.
But I get the account. But most people don't look at it that way,
again,
because they're not in it for the long dollar.
Right.
They're not.
That's
they
why.
don't-
How
they
many
don't-
merchants do you have?
2,000.
Yeah.
2,000.
And it's a volume game.
It's a volume game.
It took a lot to get where you are, and you could really afford to do everything you're saying.
Right. And I got the back, and the most important thing, if you give someone great rate, but this is what I always say, if you give someone a great rate but horrible service, that means no more merchant.
Yeah.
So you not only do you have to give them a great rate, not only do you have to be there, but you got to give them tremendous service. Like if a restaurant calls me on a Friday night, thank God, poo-poo, in my 14-year career, I've had it happen once. That's my worst nightmare, when a restaurant calls you on a Friday night. Because if they're calling you on a Friday night, they got a problem.
Yeah.
You better pick up your goddamn phone. You better be there for them. So it's all, and that just gives them, you have to give these merchants, they're so busy running their business, you have to give them peace of mind. So what I'll do, you'll make the introductions, and then I do everything. Like I said, I just want to repeat it. I call the merchant, and the only thing I'm going to ask you to do is the only one thing is that when you speak to that person, you're going to tell them, Stevie P is going to call you, you're going to have to send them 3 to 4 months worth of merchant statements. And sometimes, I don't get it anymore since COVID, but before COVID, people say, oh, that's the catch. He's just going to take my merchant statement and lower it and lower it just a little. Say, listen, basis points, it's bullshit. It means nothing. Here's why it means nothing. Because there are so many hidden and bogus fees. You could be at 10 basis points. But if I take your fees and divide them into your sales, and you come in at 3.8%, guys, you're obviously not at 10 basis points. You're probably at 170 basis points, but you don't know it.
Right.
And then they get all defensive because they're business owners. They go, well, how come nobody ever told me that before? They get real uptight and I go, knucklehead. And I'll say that to a business. I go, knucklehead. Because they don't want to educate you.
Right.
They're just taking advantage of you. Now, I'll tell you, Jay, I'm going to guarantee you're never going to be above 2.8%. Right? You call them, you tell them you're leaving. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to drop your rate, which means, guess what, bro? This is what this means. That means they screwed you
the whole
time you were working. Yeah. Now, if you're really sincere about it, I tell my merchants to tell their merchant, their current processor, is no longer going to be the processor.
Put me on the phone with them.
Give me back all the money that you're now going to lower my rate to over the last 10 years that I did business with you. You see, a lot of times the processors, they get caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
Of course.
And that's a bad thing.
Quick question for you. So on a business like an Orange Theory Fitness that's a membership model, you're talking about a non-card present environment. Is that non-card present environment?
It's all most of it's all reoccurring billing every
Right.
month. That's huge. It's 1,000% credit card. God, if they got chains all over the place, we're talking huge money. It could be huge money.
Yeah.
There's retirement right there.
There you go.
But it's it's residual. A lot of these, it's forever. But a lot of these. Here's one other thing I just want to hit. I know we're running out of time. I'm very big into all these different verticals. I want to just tell everybody one thing. This is probably one of the most important things I'm going to tell you. Like, I'm big in the dental world. In the dental world, they have what's called proprietary software. Dentrex, SoftDent, EagleSoft. In travel agencies, they have some in gyms, they have some proprietary software.
Yeah.
You never, ever, ever want to do business with somebody that has proprietary software, because here's why. That software company is in bed with the processor.
That's right.
That software company is in bed with the processor, and that processor and the software company know that they got you guys, the merchant, by the you-know-what, and they're screwing you with your rate. So how I circumvent that, like, I'm very big in dental, and I tell labs, perios, endos, oral maxilla guys, like, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I didn't even know what a periodontist was until 4 years ago. And they do your gums, by the way. So anyway, I tell people when they have software, you keep your software for all the benefits that your software gives you within your industry, but you have a side terminals just for me, for the credit cards. And then some of the owners say, oh, my staff's going to go crazy. I go, well, do you work for them or do they work for you? Like you said to me before, Jay, the business owner is going to save $40,000, $50,000 a year, $4,000 or $5,000 a month. The office manager is just, it might create a little more work, but if that business owner could put $40,000 or $50,000 or $30,000 in their pocket, it's a home run, man.
Yeah.
People have to watch every penny today. I'm telling you, the margins with inflation between, I said it before, higher labor, higher gas, higher cost of product, shipping, you name it. People are getting killed. The margins, they just can't afford to pay 3.5%, 4% on credit card fees.
Yeah.
It's the thing of the past. We get, let's say 1,000 contracts every week from all over this country because we're national. I don't care what vertical it is, what the industry. I'd say 70 to 75% of the deals that we get submitted every week are either the convenience fee, which is a cash discount model, but it's done online. When it's online, they call it a convenience fee. And if not, they call it cash discount.
Got it. It's interesting because we do a lot in the franchise industry, and I'm sure that the franchisors, when they're choosing, what software to work with and whatnot, they're probably involved in choosing the processor as well and benefiting from that.
Can I add one more thing with regard to that? So one of the biggest software companies in the hospitality space is Toast.
Sure.
Okay. We run into a lot of people who have Toast.
Are they Toast if they have Toast?
No, then I wouldn't say that. But here's what I would say. I would say Toast has a very sexy software.
Mm-hmm.
Real sexy. Like a business owner, they're everywhere, man. I'm seeing it. But when they get pitched on Toast, all they're seeing is the software.
Yeah, they don't know.
Here's the problem with Toast.
Yeah.
And it's not even the back end. The two biggest problems I hear with people who have Toast is their rates are pretty high, and they have, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it, their customer service is not good.
Yeah.
And that's me being very nice.
Right.
It's worse than not good.
Got it.
And so, and they lock them into a 3-year contract. And people say to me every day, Stevie P, I can't wait till my contract's over with Toast.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have Toast. Their software is great. And there are some people who like Toast. I'd be lying if I told you not. Not everything is for everybody, but you don't ever, I believe, from being on the other side of the industry, you don't want to ever be in any vertical that you're in with a proprietary software.
Yeah.
Because you're at a disadvantage from Jump Street.
Yeah.
You're in a very difficult position if you don't like that software. And you know what? When you have proprietary software, those people who have the software, they know it's going to be very difficult for you to make a change in your business. You got to that's another thing. A lot of people, they know they're getting screwed, but they don't want to change because they might have changed 2 or 3 times over 10 years, 15 years being in business. And when they switched previously, they had a horrible experience.
Sure.
So even though some they come around and say to me, Jay, it's amazing. They go, Stevie, I know I'm getting screwed, but I had such a bad experience the last time I switched. I have no pain threshold to deal with it.
Yeah. I just want to keep it status quo. I know that I could probably pay less, but don't want to go through that.
And that's a horrible thing for any business owner,
of course,
to feel they're in that position.
100%.
That's really not good.
Well, listen, I learned more about this industry than I ever learned in my 46 years on this planet, and I'm actually going to take this with me and make some introductions, and we're going to do some business, man. Are there any closing remarks that you have for our community here?
I think I really, I think
you nailed it, man.
I liked, this is what I loved about this. Under promise and over deliver. That's number one rule. That's what I do in my business. If someone tells me they do $2 million a year, I'm going to say they do $1.8 million a year. Someone tells me they put in their pocket cash flow $500,000 a year, I'm going to tell the buyer that they cash flow $400,000, because when we over deliver, we just look so much better to the client.
Yeah. Also, if you really, really know that you're good at what you do and you provide a high level of service and you're not locking people into contracts that take advantage of them, it's very easy to sleep at night. And then the repeat business is everything. I don't understand how people can lock somebody into a contract knowing that more often than not, that contract is not getting renewed. If they're getting bad, customer service or all those other things, you have to go out and find another new client every single time. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not how any of us do business, but in your industry, we started this topic off on, the fact that there's a lot of unsavory folks. So you're doing what should be done. And in your industry, you're looking like a hero because you're doing honest business and actually thinking about the client and what you're able to do for them. And for that reason, you don't have to sign contracts.
Can I tell you one more thing? I'm
Sure.
going to make you guys laugh.
Yeah.
So in my industry, I talk all over the country. And I'll say to someone, I'm in a group of, let's say, 100 periodontists. And I'll say, could everybody in the room who uses Stevie P stand up? And usually 10 or 15% of the room will use me. They'll invite me to a national convention, and the other 85% of the room is sitting like this. Very closed-minded. Here we go again. And I go, listen, they gave me 45 minutes to talk. I'm going to talk for 90 seconds. 90 seconds. I want you to listen to what I'm going to say to all you people. I said, we are the worst people in America. And all of a sudden, when's the last time anybody ever spoke in front of a group of people about their own industry and said that we are the worst people in America? But I go like this. I am the second most important person in your life. Usually I get someone who heckles me and they go, like, who's that asshole, Stevie P? He's full of himself. What, Stevie P, why are you the second most important person in your life? And I go like this. Sorry to move this. I go, I'm the second most important person in your life because I control your money. I'm the second most important person in your life besides your wife, your spouse, or your significant other. And I go, what are you talking about? Are you an idiot? I go, I'm the second most important person in your life because I control your money. So you better like me and you better trust me. And then I'll look someone like you in the eye and I'll go, Jay, let me ask you a question. Do you have a financial advisor? Do you have a financial advisor?
Yes.
You obviously trust him.
Yes.
You bust your ass, you make all this money. He manages your investments. I go, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Tell you what I'm going to do. You ready?
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you.
Keep going.
I'm going to give you $7,000 right there. I'm going to give you $7,000. Tell me the name of your credit card processor.
Does anybody know the answer to that?
You couldn't hear a goddamn pin drop in the room.
Yeah.
I go, so listen, here's the deal. I'm going to be here for the next 2 days. I don't expect you to believe a word I'm saying. But the 85% of you that don't know who I am, go speak to the 15% of the people that do know who I am, and I'll answer any questions. And I'll take the microphone, and I'll just drop it on the stage. And I'm done. And they'll go, you're done? I go, I'm done. I go, does anybody have any questions? Then once one person asks one question, you can't get me off the stage for an hour.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it's all interactive. The point
That's genius. By the
point
way.
The point being is, you said it perfectly before. They're not, credit card processing isn't in their front of mind awareness because
It's not even in the back of their mind.
It's not even in the back of mind. They just consider it a necessary evil. They got to have it. Nobody ever took the time to educate them. Nobody wants to educate them because if they educate them, they can't take advantage of it. And that's it. So really, I know that my personality sometimes, it might be a little strong, but I'm very passionate about what I do. I feel like,
Don't forget that.
I won't.
No, please don't.
I feel, I'm a little older, so I always say, for the younger people who won't know who this person is, but there's a guy named Charles Bronson,
Of
and he was a
course.
movie actor, and I feel like I'm Stevie P. I'm a one-man vigilante crew trying to clean up the credit card processing world. And I'm
You're doing
doing
a great
it one
job.
merchant, one day at a time, and I'm up to 2,000, and as soon as it's going to be 3,000 or 4,000.
If we get help, it's going to be 10 to 15. Let's go.
Let's go.
How many merchants in the United States? There's 30
Oh
million.
my
Forget
God.
it.
Let's go after it.
Yeah,
That's another topic.
Yeah.
We can kill it, but slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
And this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And, you're not going to get everybody.
Yeah.
But you just got to educate. You got to earn people's trust. I know I keep harping on that, but that's what it's really all about. And that's what attracts people to other people. When I met Mike, And my son kept saying, "Dad, we got to go meet Mike Steinberg. We got to go meet Mike Steinberg." I go, "What do you mean Mike Steinberg?" And he told me what you guys have built. And then within 20 seconds of walking in here 3 weeks to this most chill studio, I feel like I'm in Beverly Hills somewhere, just chilling. I feel like some movie star here, just kicking it up in my jeans and my white kicks and the Mr. T starter kit. And then I love it. It was just meeting you, Jay. It was chill. It was great. And hopefully we'll do some business together. I know we're going to do a lot of business together.
We definitely will. And
it's a win-win.
It is. And I think that was the perfect way to close this podcast. So thank you, Stevie P.
Thank you, Stevie P.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity. And hopefully we'll enlighten some people and we'll just open up their eyes.
And
that's all we could do.
And help people.
Help people.
And make money while we're helping them.
I'll end with this.
Yes.
Help them keep more money in their pocket instead of their current processor's pocket.
I like it.